What's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of Nerdy Dating. This is gonna be a reaction episode. I'm gonna react to a few things from YouTube and from TikTok. And I'm your host, Zakka, and let's go get this episode started. So first off, we're gonna talk about a video that Courtney Ryan does. Courtney Ryan is another YouTuber who also gives relationship advice out there, more targeted towards men. And she's a good follow. If you want to watch get some tips, she's a good follow. But in this episode she just put up not too long ago, it has women choose which guy they would rather date. And on this episode, she asked a question about if a guy has everything going, but he's one or two things, which one you choose? And she has a bunch of girls. So the question that gets brought up that made me want to react to is, he lives at home, or he lives by himself but has Star Wars memorabilia throughout his place. And the girl got to choose which one they would rather date, or which one they date. So I'm going to go ahead and get this reaction started because it's a good one and it's nerdy dating. So what's the best time? Look at this, I have Star Wars right here. So let's do this.
Would you rather date a guy who lives at home with his parents or a guy whose apartment is full of Star Wars memorabilia?
My brother loves Star Wars. He put me on, so I have no beef with Star Wars. I'm gonna go with the Star Wars guy.
It's a Star Wars apartment. Star Wars, let's go. Okay. Got a Star Wars girly in the house?
Yeah. Okay, I've never seen Star Wars, but I feel like I can appreciate it. So if you live at home, or if you live on your own, and I don't know, I feel like I could come in and move some stuff around if I really needed to. It's not gonna stay like that forever. So
well, maybe it will.
Maybe it will, But I feel like the man not living at home would be more attractive to me.
I think the Star Wars memorabilia. I don't think there's anything wrong with having a nerdy hobby. I can handle Star Wars. Yes, I can handle some Star Wars in my life.
Oh, that's not too bad. Star Wars all day. Yeah, we can vibe on Yoda. Absolutely.
That's not too
Every
bad.
girl has said that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just feel like living with the parents is it can get a little tricky, especially when you guys want to be intimate with each other or walk around without a bra on. It's I don't want to see your dad. It's weird.
That's fair enough. Okay. Would you rather date a?
Yeah, I like those answers. The only one I didn't like was the girl who was like, I can change a few things. Don't. If somebody has a nerdy passion or somebody's passionate about something, don't try to change somebody's stuff. Don't do that to them. Don't ruin their happiness. Be happy for them, be involved in it, but they'll be like, I'm gonna go and change this stuff in this apartment, move this over here. No, don't do that. Don't do that. Don't let somebody ruin your happiness just so they can date you, kind of thing. If you're passionate about something, go all into it. I like the girl, she's like, we vibe on Yoda. That was a good one. I like that. So yeah, and to add to that, Chris Rock had a joke years ago, one of his stand-ups. I don't remember what the exact stand-up was from, but he said women don't sleep down. And because guys doesn't matter, we'll just sleep wherever. We'll be everywhere. It could be your parents' place, it'll be, in a car, the woods, doesn't matter. But women don't sleep down, what Chris Rock said. And what he meant by that is if you're at your parents' place, a girl's not going back. If she's messing with somebody and been outside, somebody who has their own place, has their own house, etc., he's like, she's not going back to the parents' place. She's not going to spend her time at the parent place. It's not really about sleeping around. It's more about spending your time and the things you're doing. So if you're out dating, just be cognizant of the things that you have. Don't try to invite somebody over to your parents' place. It's not a good look. And so I actually like the fact that all the girls in the video did make the choice of Star Wars over their parents' place. And what's more than even the Star Wars thing is the fact that the guy stayed at his parents' place versus, had his own place, but maybe his own place was full of a bunch of sports stuff versus nerdy stuff. I wonder what the question would have been or how it would be different. But I like that. I thought my reaction would probably be a lot worse, but they all made to me, the choice was like, okay, that's a smart choice. You guys are making the smart choice. It wasn't like, oh, Star Wars, Like, no, they was down with it. They was down with it. So this is another TikTok reaction. This is from Turned on YouTube and Angela Nights Don't Miss. So this is her reaction to these girls' reaction, which I'm gonna react to everybody's reaction in this one. Came across this on my TikTok, and let's go ahead and get started.
Like females. They want to think about their day, like who cares? I don't care about.
This is what's
So the girls in there said guys be acting like females, and the other girls like they gonna talk about their day, and she's like, who cares? She said, and then she turned around and say like, how about you care about my day? And I want to curious to see what Angela Knight Don't Miss say about that reaction.
important in a relationship for women to be crazier about the guy than for the guy to be crazier about the woman. And this is fucked up. Never really gonna meet two people that are equally crazy about each other. It's rare, so we're not talking about y'all, that's cute, staying in a little unicorn world. But in reality, because of how the city girls are nowadays, they are meant to be miserable. And what I mean when I say that is, being with a guy that you can't really get where you want, but you're kind of on eggshells around him is kind of the way to be. Because she'll ask about his day. She'll be like, what are you doing? I miss you, blah, 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 blah. I'll up his booty because that's how it has to be in that type of dynamic. If she's lucky enough to find a guy who's willing to put up with that type of ignorant attitude, he ultimately holds the power. And she would feel like, fuck, but guess what? That's the only way for that type of relationship to work. Because her answers are based on her previous relationship, and as you can tell, she wore the pants in it, and look at how it turned out. Women don't want the power like they think they do or they say they do, because when a woman can walk all over a guy, that's how she acts. It ain't good. Trust me.
Oh, guys be acting like.
Okay, alright, so Angela's reacting to that specific type of person, and the whole guys be acting like females. That mindset there, and these girls in the video, they're young. I'll post the video up on the videos so you'll see they're young. So they're probably not thinking like they're not thinking about what they're saying, to be honest, because that's the trace of toxic masculinity, and that's something you do not want to portray. Like, let the dude open up about his feelings. You're his girlfriend. You're his significant other. Let him open up. Let him talk about his day. Let him have that stuff. Let him express himself, because him balling that stuff up is not gonna be good. And then you'll be up there like, why don't he talk to me? Why don't he do this? In this situation here, you literally just like dogged him out for opening up talking about his day. So, ladies, if a guy gonna do that, open up to you, listen to him, hear him out, let him speak his word, let him have his moments. Don't let there be like, oh, I don't want to hear about your day. You should focus on me. Like, that's not a relationship. That's completely toxic, and you don't want that kind of relationship. And back to what Angela was saying, like, she's in a relationship where she walked all over a guy. I don't think she walked all over the guy. The dude probably was being a yes man. He was like, oh, you know, I do this for you, I do this for you, I do this for you, like doing this and stuff like that. Never gave her time to breathe. And I don't know the ladies what that dynamic of the relationship is, but to be like, she's walking over where she felt like she was in control of the relationship. There's no such thing of who's in control. You don't want to be in a relationship that somebody's in control of. That's not healthy at all. A relationship should be it should be equal between both people, not one person control the other, one person dominate. That's not a relationship. That's not healthy at all. It's toxic. Like, both people should be able to express themselves in the relationship, be happy, and be willing to spend time with each other in that same relationship without being afraid of, if I open up, I'm gonna get put down or look soft or weak. That's not how this should go. So, yeah, that's my thoughts on that one. And I have one more. First Dates Don'ts by Mac and Mads. So let's see what they say in their first date don'ts.
Don't do this. Don't you dare. Don't even try. Number one, don't go to a movie. Going to a movie, you can't talk, you can't get to know each other. It's a horrible first date. It's just pointless. Number two, don't get too touchy too fast. It just comes off wrong, and even if you're not a creeper, it kind of feels like that. Number three, don't talk about your ex. If you're directly asked, obviously be honest, but don't spend the day talking about that. Number four, don't rush into talking about the future. You can talk about where you see yourself going in the future. That's part of getting to know each other, but don't talk about the future together. That's like a lot. Really soon on. Just Number five, don't only talk about yourself, but also don't not talk about yourself. Yeah, it's a balance between asking questions and also answering. Yeah. Good luck.
I like that. I like that. That does actually, that's a good video. They did get some good points in there. One, the first one.
Don't do this. Don't you dare. Don't even try. Number
that.
one, don't go to a movie.
Don't go to movies. So no movies, and the reason why is, man, they even said like you don't get the time to talk to each other and figure out who each other's about. You can do a date first, and then maybe make the movie your third date or fourth date, but don't make that the first date, because that kind of thing, you're sitting in a movie theater next to somebody for 2 hours and don't get to talk to each other, don't get to say anything to each other. And movies nowadays are 2 to 3 hours, so sitting 3 hours with somebody, a complete stranger, and they're gonna figure out what you're talking about. Now, third date, get done talking, especially if you love movies and stuff like, what do you think about the movie? What do you think about that scene? What do you think about this? Break down the movie? Good. But as a first date, don't do that one. That's a good one. Yeah.
Going to a movie, you can't talk, you can't get to know each other. It's a horrible first date. It's just pointless. Don't get too touchy.
Don't get too touchy too fast. Pretty much there's like slow your roll in this situation. Like, hugs, fine. Kiss, first date kiss, fine. But like trying to move, unless both people want to realize where both people are at too. Like, are both people okay with this? Both people are consenting in this situation, but don't rush into something. Sometimes slow down, take a moment, and like analyze everything first, rushing into it. So that was like, don't get too touchy too fast. And then another one, don't talk about like future together. Like, this is the first date. You should be talking about, oh, we should go to, Alaska next year. Not sure why I should pick Alaska. But like, you don't know this person. You just met this person. So slow that down. Or we should plan this event 3 months down the line. We don't know what tomorrow's gonna look like. Like, slow it down and don't get too touchy. Take your time, get to know the person versus just rushing into it. And then don't always talk about yourself, and be a balance, like open up the question between both each other. Like, don't always talk like, well, me. Don't do that on the first date. It's bad. As the person you're on a date with, ask about themselves. Ask about them. People love talking about themselves. So ask them, have them open up, get to know who they are. They're gonna find out who you are, but get to know who they are. And the one about the exes, like they say, if you get asked a question, you can talk about your ex, but don't bring your ex up immediately on a date. Like, oh, my ex did this, my ex and I went this way. Like, calm down, slow your roll. Like, why are you talking about your ex right off the bat? Like, are you over your ex? Is everything fine? So I like these videos. These are good reactions here. If you have any reactions you want me to look at, please put in the comment section below, or send it to me via my Instagram or TikTok. Also, I'll put that in the comment section below. Also, if you have a question for me you want me to answer on this episode, next episode of Nerdy Dating, send it to alizakkanerdydating@gmail.com. That's alizakkanerdydating@gmail.com. Send that email there. Also, the link will be in the bio as well. We can send your question. I'll answer on the show. Other than that, thank you guys for watching this episode of Nerdy Dating, and keep being awesome. Thank you for watching this episode of Nerdy Dating. I really appreciate it. If there's another episode you want to watch, you can look at it right there. If you want to subscribe to the page and watch more content, it's down here. Also, you have a question about dating, you want to put it in the comment section, go ahead and do it. Or you can send me your dating question to my email of alizakkanerdydating@gmail.com. That's alizakkanerdydating@gmail.com. And I will answer your question on the next episode of Nerdy Dating. Thank you so much for watching this show. I appreciate you, and keep being awesome.